You ever find yourself watching a baseball game, yelling at the TV, thinking, I would have made a totally different call? Well, what if you could actually manage your favorite major league team? I mean, really make all the calls and see if you've got what it takes to win the whole thing. Okay, let's get into it.
That right there is the incredible, almost unbelievable promise of a game that's been a baseball fan's absolute dream for decades. I mean, it's claiming a level of realism that just seems impossible, turning cold, hard stats into a living, breathing season right on your tabletop. So what exactly is this thing? The game's called APBA, and it's a legendary simulation that uses these meticulously crafted player cards and a simple roll of the dice to replicate the entire Major League Baseball experience with just stunning accuracy.
And hey, just so we're all on the same page here, it's pronounced APBA. It's a name that baseball nuts have trusted for over 70 years.
But how in the world does it actually pull off this unbelievable realism? Let's take a look under the hood and break down how these simple cards and dice can possibly mirror the insane complexities of big league baseball.
The core idea here is just fascinating. With over 900 unique player cards in a set, you gotta think of each one as a player's statistical DNA. It's not just a couple of key numbers. It is a complete profile of their skills, their tendencies, their shortcomings. It's what makes no two players exactly alike.
And the level of detail is, well, it's kind of mind-blowing. We're not just talking about batting average and home runs. The game accurately reproduces a player's knack for hitting doubles, their discipline to draw walks, how often they strike out or even get plunked by a pitch. It even knows if they're more likely to ground into a double play or hit a routine fly ball. That's what lets you really strategize, you know? It's all baked right in.
And this realism? It doesn't stop at the plate, not by a long shot. Pitchers will perform to their real-life ERA. Great defensive teams will turn way more double plays. Fast runners are a constant threat to steal. You even have to account for an outfielder's arm strength before you decide to send a runner home. Every single part of the game is covered.
So what this means is that a player's statistical DNA makes them act exactly like you'd expect them to. You'll see sluggers like Aaron Judge and Pete Alonso literally battling for the home run crown in your league, while absolute speedsters like Ellie De La Cruz and Corbin Carroll are just a constant menace on the base paths.
Okay, so if the players are basically perfect replicas of their real-life selves, what's left to do? Well, their success or failure, that ultimately rests on one person: you.
And that brings up the big question, right? If the player cards are so spot on, what's your job? Well, that's where the real game begins. You're not just watching things happen, you are the manager.
You're the one making the calls that can win or lose a ball game. You set the lineup every day. You manage the bullpen. You decide when to bunt or try a risky hit and run. Do you bring in that pinch hitter in the bottom of the ninth? Do you dare send the runner to try for that extra base? These are the exact same gut-wrenching decisions a real MLB skipper faces every single day.
And you know, the more you play, the deeper your understanding of your own team becomes. You're not just playing a game anymore. You're learning the tiny, intricate strengths and weaknesses of every single player on your roster. You start to develop the keen eye of a professional scout.
So you might be sitting there thinking, wow, this sounds incredibly complicated. But the real genius of APBA is how it creates such complex, realistic results from a system that is, believe it or not, super simple and elegant. So here's the core mechanic in just 3 easy steps. First, you roll 2 dice. That gives you a 2-digit number, somewhere between 11 and 66. Second, you just find that number on the batter's card. And third, you look up that result on the game boards to see what happened. A single, strikeout, a home run. That's it. Every play is resolved that quickly. And because that system is so slick and efficient, you can play a full 9-inning game in just 20 to 30 minutes. All of a sudden, replaying an entire 162-game season doesn't seem like this impossible task. It becomes a thrilling project you can actually do.
Of course, APBA isn't some new fad. It's a genuine piece of baseball history, a tradition that has connected generations of fans for the better part of a century.
This game is the result of over 70 years of dedicated experimentation and deep, deep baseball research. I mean, that kind of longevity tells you everything you need to know about its quality and the passion that went into creating it. It's a system that's been perfected over thousands upon thousands of test games.
And fans enjoy it in all sorts of ways. You can totally play solo, managing both teams just to watch a season unfold. You can go head-to-head with a friend for that classic tabletop rivalry. Or you can join one of the many organized leagues all over the country and become the permanent manager of your very own franchise.
The community for this game is just huge and diverse. It's played by kids as young as 8 and by fans who've been playing for decades. There are players all over the world and organized leagues. And get this, there are even reports of actual major league managers and players using the game. I mean, that's probably the best endorsement you could possibly get, right?
And this really just hits the nail on the head. APBA taps into that one universal fantasy for any true baseball fan. It's not just about watching the game, it's about being in the game, making the calls that matter, and taking your shot at glory.
So it all comes down to this one question. With the most realistic players in the world at your command, could you do better? Could you take your favorite team and lead them to a championship? Could you, as the manager, actually rewrite baseball history?